court's permission. I'm seeking
Shut
the
up.
court's leave.
Shut up.
I'm seeking the
Shut
court's
up.
leave.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
I'm seeking the
Shut up.
I'm seeking the court's
Shut up.
leave.
Shut up. Shut up.
Who are you?
Shut up. Shut up.
I will as soon as you tell me who you are.
Shut up.
As soon as you tell me who you are. So I'm seeking leave.
Go ahead, give your
Whether
evidence.
written mandamus with the Supreme Court.
I'm a social welfare inspector who works for the Department of Social Protection. I visited the premises on part of my duties to carry out the inspection. I asked the individuals on the premises to identify themselves and they refused to do so. They advised me to leave the premises from my safety, which I did. I then contacted Garda Síochána and they were within my limits.
We have heard in court what you witnessed inside the shop in the tour or
I witnessed 4 people working on the premises. Individuals, all of whom refused to identify themselves. They refused to accept that I was an authorised officer, that I was a genuine social welfare inspector, that they refused to recognise my jurisdiction.
just in respect of Mr. Parker, you did on the day ask for his name and details.
I'm not Mr. Parker.
Can you
I asked that gentleman who was here for his details. I wasn't aware of his name at the time.
what happened when you asked for his
He
details?
refused to give me or to identify himself. He said I think one of the individuals said he didn't work for Joe Moore.
And did he indicate that identified Mr. Parker as?
He said he didn't indicate that he would identify himself to the Gardaí.
What happened then in regards to that?
He refused. He said, I think he said that you were genuine guards and wanted to see your business card.
And what was his demeanour during the end of this conversation?
Very intimidating and aggressive.
So this court has no authority within liability. I've asked you for you.
Okay.
I've asked you who you are.
questions to ask?
I have questions for you, so what is this jurisdiction based on?
Okay, next.
So my facts are on this very side. So there is no authority without liability. And you identify yourself, please say so.
Start by my God, the answer to give the court in this case of the truth, the whole truth, or the hard world of Palligar Station. Judge, on the day in question, I was on mobile patrol with Detective Garda Harrison. We received a call over the radio to attend budget tool hire at premises on the Greenhouse Road, Judge. Upon my arrival at the scene, I met with the social worker, Mr. John Bean. He explained to me the situation that he was there trying to complete his work, trying to identify persons on the premises, Judge. He requested our assistance there just to basically prevent a breach of the peace while we were there. So, Judge, I entered the premises with him, Judge. There was a number of people behind the counter and there was a number of people in the shop front. Mr. Bean identified himself to Mr. Parker here, Judge, who was on the shop floor, Judge, and he requested his name and details and he refused to give them. He did, however, Judge, say that he would identify himself to a member of the Garda Síochána. I stepped in, Judge, and I showed Mr. Parker my official identification card and I identified myself as a member of the Garda Síochána. I then asked for his name and address and he refused to give it to me, Judge. He asked for a business card. I informed him that I didn't have a business card and then he implied that he stated that I had an allowance given to me to have business cards and that I was obliged to hand him the business card, Judge. At this point, Detective Garda Harrison stepped in and he also identified himself as a member of the Garda Síochána and he produced his official identification card to Mr. Parker here, Judge. Mr. Parker made an attempt to take a hold of Detective Garda Harrison's identification card and Detective Harrison told him that he wasn't entitled to hold on to it, but he was entitled to inspect it. Mr. Parker then requested a business card off Detective Garda Harrison and again Detective Garda Harrison explained that we didn't have business cards and we weren't supplied with an allowance for them. Mr. Parker's demeanour became very aggressive and threatening, Judge. At that point then Detective Garda Harrison arrested him for breach of the peace under Section 6 of the Public Order Act. Mr. Parker then was taken to Palligar Station.
And I have then
2010-2012 budget tool hire just off the Green Hills Road. I attended a call where there was a representative, a worker from the social welfare attempting to carry out his duties. We were only there in the capacity to prevent breach of peace. John Beale from the social welfare asked a few of the people in Budget 2, which is a public place on Public Order Act, for his details, and the defendant turned around and said that he would provide his details to a guard. Captain Murray asked him for his details, he refused details. I asked him for his details, certainly from the man, and I showed Mr. Parker my identification card. And we didn't lunge for trying to snatch it. He did try and take it, and I drew it back and I said, you're not entitled to it. You are entitled to look at it. I'll give it to no commissioner or one of the officers. So at this point, he didn't use bad language. He just became very aggressive, very loud. His face was distorted, and he just became very aggressive. And at that point, I took it on myself to arrest him for offence under Section 6 of the Public Order Act, because I felt that if he remained, that a breach of the peace would be occasioned. So arresting him under Section 24 of the Public Order Act for the offence under Section 6. He told me then that he was cautioned, and his arrest was explained to him. He told me that I couldn't arrest him, that it wasn't a public place. He then refused all details to me. He refused details in the guard station. He didn't acknowledge that the guard, in full guard uniform at the custody hatch, was a guard. We were forced then to take him to court number 3 in the CCJ, where he refused details to the court and didn't accept that the court was legitimate.
Under my demand to be put before the judge.
Judge, if we permitted, Mr. Parker was...
Nobody has identified
He was a man in custody.
Nobody has substantiated.
He was a man in custody then, Judge.
Identified that.
And I think following 2 days in custody, he did.
Nobody has identified. Nobody has substantiated their identity.
That's why
And there is no obligation.
respect to the Section 6 case. Cardinal Rooney is present.
Including yourself, you have no authority here.
Yeah, Cardinal Rooney will give evidence.
I've been denied due process. I've been denied the ability to enter a plea on my own behalf. So you're conducting your own affairs here without authority. And you will be liable.
Judge, ordering on Judge on the day in question, Judge, I was driver of official mark patrol vehicle, Judge 06 Delta 76486. Judge, I was required at Tallygarda Station to transport 2 prisoners from Tallygarda Station to the CCJ.
I was unlawfully detained.
Judge, at Tallygarda Station.
If you're handcuffed and in a cage in the back of the van, what are you doing there? You have no ability to tell me the truth. These proceedings are farce.
The accused judge refused to give details, Judge. And the journey took approximately 20 minutes, Judge, from Tallygarda to the CCJ, Judge. During that journey, Judge, I asked the accused on 3 occasions, Judge, were they okay in the rear of the van, Judge. They made no reply, and yes, Judge, was the reply to one. Judge, on arrival at the CCJ, Judge, when I opened the rear of the van, I noticed you were in, Judge, coming from the rear cage. When I opened the cage door, Judge, the accused, who refused to give his details, stated that it was him that had urinated, Judge, in the rear of the van, Judge. He gave no valid explanation why, Judge. It was never stated, Judge, he had any medical conditions. Judge, he was brought before the court, Judge, and continued to refuse to give his details, Judge. On the 31st of the 10th, Judge, before this court, Judge, at approximately 11:20 a.m., I arrested the then known Mr. Michael Parker, Judge. He was charged with arrested on charge 1323-8305 myself. He was cautioned, Judge, and his reply to caution was there was no intention to damage the property, and I would like to know that it brought to your attention if an accident was due to my unlawful detention, Judge.
Thanks. Have you any questions?
I have no ability to ask questions here. You've denied me the ability to due process. You've denied me the ability to enter an own claim on your behalf. And these proceedings have no authority. You have no authority here, sir, until you identify yourself.
I assume then you don't want to do that.
Sir, this isn't a trial. You deny me due process. You know ahead of your life, or will have no.
But it is Section 6, I convict. Okay, what do you do for a living?
I'm obliged to answer that question. I'm not, but then I have no obligation to that.
In circumstances, 2 will convict you on 5 months to pay, 5 days. And eventually, you last 2 will pay cash. Okay. In relation
I don't accept that, so because you have acted without authority.
250 euro fine.
You don't have authority.
5 months.
My facts are on the clerk's table.
200 euro cash. Okay, thanks. Next case. Thank you. Next case.